So, did we already introduce ourselves? Should we do it again for real? Who's going to start? Peter.
Hi, I'm Peter Chan, and I'm the lead artist.
You drew that painting right there, right?
Yes, I did, yes.
Okay.
I'm Larry Ahern, lead animator.
You killed that bird.
And I think that was a Leela scene.
Oh, okay.
She's the animal killer.
I like the mustache tree, isn't it, Larry Shot, Peter? I'm Tim Schafer, co-project leader of this lovely game.
And I am Dave Grossman, other project leader and designer and writer along with Tim of this lovely game.
That should have been our titles, co and other.
Co and other, yeah.
Clint Bajakian, one of the composers.
Peter McConnell, one of the composers.
Nice. The game has begun, you guys. Okay, so we saw the lovely... What was the name of that classical music that plays during the opening voice?
Rossini, William Tell Overture. It's the quiet part of the William Tell Overture.
There's two classical pieces that mean morning in cartoons.
Yes, there's that one, and then there's... And the other one is... That's from... Where is that from?
I don't remember.
It might be Peer Gynt or something like that. That's a good guess.
It's not another place in the Rossini, is it?
No, I think it's Peer Gynt. I think.
But for that opening scene with the music, we actually got the score and sequenced the ink into the MIDI sequencer.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the big panning sequences, like wide pieces of art for the game.
The room shot? It was a double room?
Mm-hmm. And I noticed there's a poster with an L from Laverne and Shirley on that poster back there.
Here's one of our giant animation scenes.
How did you lip sync back then? Because we didn't have any tool. Nowadays we use a tool for lip syncing. Do you just by hand?
I think we just timed it out like the old-fashioned timing sheet.
Now that was for the cinematics, but for in-game, wasn't it Eric Wilmunder?
I thought it just blah 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 chattered.
I think the in-game was just on-off with audio on-off.
Yeah, there's no actual lip syncing for the majority of the game,
so
which is funny since I have gotten many compliments on the lip syncing for this game over the years.
Because it loops around, and every percentage of the time it's on, right?
Well, because I remember Eric.
Yeah, I think Eric designed some kind of an algorithm for making the lips move to the level of volume.
Yeah.
Right. If there are
the
pauses
waveform.
in the audio, it stops moving the lips.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now these credits were done by Kyle Balda.
That's
you were
right.
saying entirely on his internship?
Yep.
So wait, did we not pay for these credits? Or did we pay for them?
He got paid, right?
I think so, yeah. He took time. This is Peter, the other Peter. We took time out of CalArts. He came and spent some time with us, and we gave him this intro as an internship, and he did a fabulous job.
Seems like a funny thing to do, like, hey, you're an intern, you've never done this before. Do you want to do the entire animated intro, the most...
But I remember when he did, when he finished something, he shared it with us. We were all blown away by it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The most iconic signature piece. Can you hurry and finish that before you go back to school?
Set the entire tone for the look of our game, and
it was excellent.
Awesome.
I would later learn that was the perfect piece to have Kyle work on because he was colorblind, as it turns out.
I didn't know that.
I saw him working on something else, and he had other people picking his colors for him.
Oh, interesting. There was another 3D artist we had there in B Building that was colorblind too, and it was one of those things where people were just kind of, have you noticed everything he does? The reds don't make sense or whatever. I couldn't remember what it was.
Oh, the cow. I always get really happy watching these credits. I like the stretchy cow neck.
That cow should have showed up again later somewhere.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
What if the cow had come on their journey with them? Everything would have been so different.
Well, here's the story explanation right now for why the cow doesn't come.
Because he's just tired.
Doesn't want to make
like
the walk
I've been
up
to the
hill.
mansion before.
Now, this is the first fight I had with Peter McConnell. Do you remember this, Peter?
Yes, I was gonna.
You were gonna mention that?
If you were gonna remember it,
because the opening cutscene was too long, and we always had a problem with too long opening cutscenes, and so we were like, let's split it in half and put an interactive sequence. So there's an interactive sequence that's about to start, but I seem to remember it was the wrong time of day for you because it's nighttime outside. It started in the daytime with the mutation scene, then it became nighttime.
Right.
But then what happened? Then it turned into daytime at the end. That's what bothered you because the music couldn't make that transition in your mind.
Yeah. I think mostly I was crabby because we had to the cut scenes and the interactivity required a bunch of programming in iMuse. and I'd finished it one way, and then you changed it to another. And so I think I came up with some sort of artistic argument that had to do with daylight like that. But
that's an important thing to learn running a project, to not change things after someone spent hours and hours making something.
Well, it was also an important thing to learn not to step way out of your bailiwick and tell the guy who's writing the scene how to write the scene.
Oh, there are bailiwicks all over the place in this game.
Aha! A secret passage. This is all too easy.
Laverne, how'd you get upstairs?
Am I upstairs? I got lost.
Seen any tentacles?
What's a tentacle?
Oh, just something I whipped up in my spare time. Made good pets, actually, until one of them tried to take over the world. Had to tie the little buggers up in the basement.
Good thing you told us that.
Yeah, Bernard wanted us to set them free.
Thank God you weren't that stupid. Did you say Bernard? Okay, you're free to go.
Thanks, Bernard.
Yes, thank you, naive human. Now I can finish taking over the world.
Wait!
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. He's incredibly evil, isn't he?
I'll try to talk him out of it.
Well, what possible harm could one insane mutant tentacle do? Leaping lab rats! Dr. Fred. What have you done this time, you meddling milquetoast? Now Purple Tentacle is free to use his evil mutant powers to take over the world and enslave all humanity! Whoops. Our only hope now is to turn off my sludge-o-magic machine and prevent the toxic mutagen from entering the river. Isn't it a little late for that, Doctor? Of course. That's why I'll have to do it. Yesterday! To the time machine!
This is all your fault, Bernard.
Behold, children, the Chronogon!
Doc, can't you just send Bernard?
No, you must all go to increase the odds that one of you will make it there alive. Have any people ever been hurt in this thing? Of course not. This is the first time I've ever tried it on people. Well, I'll be.
And then there's the porta potties, vessels.
Chronogons.
Yep.
Chronogons.
This, by the way, is an amazing full-screen animation before it was possible to do full-screen.
Yeah. And not actually animated. That's all. The background's all color cycling.
It's all color cycling.
A lost art in the world of.
I forgot about that.
Now that computers work like they should, you don't have to do that stuff anymore.
You know, if you look at Mark Ferrari's website, not that Mark Ferrari worked on this game, but he was the master of color cycling, and he has a whole website where he's done it in a more high-end way. Like with higher res color cycling, he just kept perfecting that to higher and higher resolutions.
Yeah, that stuff was crazy. He was into it, and then I think Bill Eakin was the one that inherited the mantle from him when he left.
All the lava in Indy 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, color cycling.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was
juggling.
like 2-3 frame animations.
And a little surf music for Hoagie. We always had a place for surf music in our games. The Bone Wagon theme.
Yep.
That's right.
I think that surf music was yours.
That was mine. Yeah, I did that last little sequence there.
Yeah, you know, the musically, this I believe was the last project that we all worked on. Certainly the last original title that we all worked on together, sort of equally as composers, where there was no lead composer, and we all pretty much
panicked and freaked out together.
Order jewels?
What happened to Hoagie and Laverne?
I knew I should have bought a real diamond.
Are they alive?
My dials say that the larger specimen landed 200 years in the past, and the other is stuck 200 years in the future.
Well, hurry up and bring them back.
I will, as soon as I get a new diamond. Then all your buddies have to do is plug in their respective chronogens and...
Plug them in? Where is Hoagie going to find an electrical outlet 200 years in the past?
Yes, well, he'll be needing my patented super battery then, won't he? Now, where did I put those patented super battery plans of mine?
Plans? How are we going to get Hoagie plans?
Don't worry me with details, boy. Just help me find the plans. They're in this house somewhere.
Now what am I going to do?
I think I made myself perfectly clear. Step 1, find plans. Step 2, save world. Step 3, get out of my house. Let's get cracking.
Okay, am I right, or is this is finally the game starting? Like the game, all of that was intro.
Right, all that was intro.
The game has now finally begun. And then as soon as you walk off screen, we freeze again for another cutscene. Ah, okay, now we're playing.
So the original cutscene was like 7 minutes
before we added that brief, tiny introduction to. We always were wrestling with that. I felt in adventure games, like you want to tell the story and set it up for, the intro, but then you think of another, before the intro, we should do this other little intro, and then you'd end up with all these like intros to the intros to the intros, and they get super long.
I feel like that's just because we were inexperienced writers.
No,
but some people like that. Some people like that you set the whole stage and then they're interactive, and some people are just clicking and they want to get to it.
Yeah, but we never respected those people, to be honest, who just click to get through it. The reality is you guys had a story to tell, and that's the way to set it up and get people invested in it so that when they actually get into the interactive part, they feel invested. And
were these cutscenes escapable back then? Did we?
Yes. But you'd be so confused if you just started this game.
Right.
And I do feel like we're asking the player to play a part in this story, and it's mean to make them wait so long before they can.
True, but at least they're being entertained.
But of course, it's a classic, full of mistakes, but a classic.
I've got the plans.
Quick, we have to flush them to Hoagie.
How did you get over there?
My ingenious super battery design, please.
You really flushed them?
Yes.
Down the toilet?
No, through time. Using the highly sophisticated time flux hydraulic vortex chamber I've installed in each chronogen, you can flush small inanimate objects to each other through time. Flush small inanimate objects to each other through time.
Hello? Dr. Fred, can you hear me? Drat.
Did you hear something?
No. Let's see if what's-his-name catches on.
Oh, great. I'm stuck in colonial times, tentacles are taking over the world, and now the toilet's backing up.
Hoagie, come over here. It's your old pal, Dr. Fred.
Dr. Fred, how'd you get in there?
I want you to pick up those plans you see in the chronogen, Hoagie. Bring them to Red Edison. He's my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. He'll know what to do.
You need the plans to make a super battery so you can plug in your chronogen.
Okay, if you say so, Bernard.
Good boy. Does he have any experience with electronics?
Well, I once saw him take 3,000 volts directly through his head without batting an eye.
Didn't he pass out?
Well, he was already passed out when it happened.
Time for me to save the world, I guess.
Ding, 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 ding. This is that we talked about a little bit when Dave and I played through. But originally, you could play all 3 characters right away. Remember that?
Is that true?
Yeah, you could play all the characters from the very beginning. And we had our first pizza orgy where we tested the game out, and people were like, "Oh, there's so many options," and they were overwhelmed. So now we unlocked it. So you have to play as Bernard for a little while, and then you do something that makes it so you can play Hoagie, and then Vern's the last.
And what about the other 3 kids?
They got cut.
There were 3 other kids?
They were 3 other kids. Do you remember who they were?
No, I don't remember anything about 3
piece
other
of paper.
kids.
I have a piece of paper that has a picture of them.
Moonglow,
Chester,
and
Razor.
And Chester became...
Chester and Moonglow ring a bell.
Chester became Ned and Ted.
Wait, not Ned and Ted. Jed and...
Or whoever they were.
Jed and...
Ned and Jed.
Ned and Jed.
Okay.
Ned and Jed. And Moonglow just went away. Yeah. And Razor went away as well.
I mean, I stole the character design from Chester and said, I like that. I'll use that for these guys. And put them in a powdered wig.
Why do the work again? Really?
Exactly.
How did we...
I'm trying to remember how we did...
How we referred to it to score it, because we would have had to play the game.
I think what we did, I'm trying to remember too.
Hold
I think
up a
what we
video camera in front of the screen?
I think what we did was we got a save game made.
Oh.
And we would play it to the next, place where you could pause. We would, the next spacebar point or something like that, and then we would score it, and then we would make it so that the music, because the thing was that you couldn't rely on the sync, right?
Mm-mm.
So we had to actually make the music interactive in a sense with the scene so that it could, depending on how fast of a machine you had and how quickly therefore the scene would play, would the music actually hit the right hit points and then proceed correctly to the next hit point.
So we would have an accordion
we basically had an accordion-like structure.
Each little section, it would sort of pause and then resume at the hit point, or jump to the hit point if the hit point was reached first.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think if we...
would be only the fastest machines.
Right.
Ooh, the Pony Express. Well, I'll just run to the Chronojon.
There's something in the Chronojon. So as soon as Hoagie gets that battery working, we're set.
I'm afraid not. We still need a diamond for the main unit. And your friend in the future needs power too, if she's still alive.
Alive?
Get me out of here! I like trees and everything, but this one has got to go.
It's useless. No one...
That was really disturbing when he shot himself. And then the stick goes right through his brain, which would be fatal. Very disturbing.
It's true. They would never...
But then he's got a depressed sigh afterwards. So, he's fine, even though he's still suicidal.
You notice the nice pink box, the Chinese pink box that you get in Chinatown.
Is that for
That's right
almond
there.
cookies? He's got a little selection of... How sad can he be?
I just thought that was donuts.
Well, it's true about that theme, the suicide theme, or cigarettes for another matter. I think we used to have characters sometimes lighten up and stuff.
There was no ESRB when we made this.
Yeah.
You're brilliant. What a novel design. Come to Baltimore at once.
I'll use the Chronojon. Here, perhaps these are your keys.
Where? Gimme. Hey, thanks, pal. Keep the crowbar.
Thank you, Masked Man.
Drat. Maybe this one.
Hey, boy, you missed the party.
You and the clown were having a party?
No, last night. At the Novelty Good Salesmen's Convention. I tell you, we novelty good salesmen know how to have a good time.
Gotta run.
Ciao, kid.
Hey, isn't that Albert Einstein?
Huh? I don't see anything.
Oh, never mind. Hi there.
What can I do for you, kid?
Nice cigars.
I import them from the finest Cuban munitions factories. So, want a cigar?
Sure, lay one of those Havanan babies on me.
I don't get it. Get lost, kid.
Decaf wouldn't help there.
Thanks. I needed a little pick-me-up. Must open safe. Must sign contract. Must provide for family.
Ew, it's soaking wet. $1968?
So there was I did actual math for how much money should be in that pile of quarters to make this thing run.
That's Dave. He would actually calculate how many. To run for how many years? For 200 years?
$800,000 or something. Yeah, 200 years to the minute.
And I'm glad you did that, because someone else on the internet would have done it and said we used the wrong number if we didn't do that.
Green!
Bernard!
What are you doing up here?
Well, I couldn't stop Purple, and he's gonna go out and conquer the world, and I'm afraid of what he'll do if he catches me, if Dr. Fred doesn't find me first. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Hey!
What's up, Bernard?
See you later.
Yeah! Good luck in saving the world, B-Man.
Wow, this is loud. Whew.
I remember when I was trying to figure out and come up with the style, you know, it was back in those days, we didn't really have Google internet search stuff. So, you know, all we had were 2 books that I studied from, and that was a Bugs Bunny book, compilation kind of thing, and Chuck-a-Muck, which was Chuck Jones's bio book. And I remember to do research, we had to use VHS tapes. And we watched all those classic Saturday morning cartoon stuff, and we would pause and look at, or for me, I was studying, looking at these old cartoons, and except when you pause on a VHS, you always get the line.
Tracking.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
But that was how I was studying and trying to come up with, shapes and just study layout. And then, it worked out.
Hey, want to see a neat trick?
Sure.
Neat, huh?
My Pony Express stamps. You ruined my Pony Express stamps, not to mention 5 years of therapy. Get out of my room.
Jeez, what a grump. He should really try to find some outlet for those negative feelings.
Excuse me. Yes? Mr. President, may I offer you an excellent smoke? Can you also provide me with a light? Sure. Well, in that case... Blast, I hate it when that happens. See if you can't find those for me, will you? There's a good lad. Could you use these? Why, thank you, young man. Strange. I wonder if I should cut down on the coffee.
Hey, Tom, look! The father of our nation is cold. Better build a fire.
You're right. Huh? I guess you can have my log.
Me? Why should I build the fire? You build the fire.
I'm bothered by the smoke. You build the fire.
I'm bothered by your attitude. You build the fire.
No, you build the fire, Mr. Penmanship.
No, you build the fire, log lover.
No, you build the fire.
No, you build the fire.
You big baby.
Boy, it's sure quiet in here. I wonder if there might be any ideas worth discussing in the suggestion box. Maybe somebody should take a look. I say, lads, I have an idea.
Harassing Betsy with arbitrary flag design changes is getting dull. Besides, last time she threatened to stitch me.
No. I was thinking it's about time we open the suggestion box. Don't you agree?
Sure, George, if you say so.
Yes, whatever you think is fine with us.
Excellent.
What's he thinking? No one of any importance has been here all day. What could be in the suggestion box?
Perhaps he intends to suggest something himself.
Oh.
Here's a suggestion. It says, George says that every American should have a vacuum cleaner in their basement. What do you think, gentlemen?
Whatever you say, George.
Your name's on it. I'm sure you must have a good reason for suggesting it.
Yes. It's strange. I don't quite... Well, I'm sure I had a reason for it. If there are no objections, we shall add it to the Constitution immediately. No? Good, and so shall it be law.
What's a vacuum cleaner?
There's a...
Sometimes I like to eat it raw.
So now, CD games were just starting to be released on CD-ROM, and
the first. Oh,
for us it was
the talkie. First talkie.
First talkie, right?
And before Rebel Assault.
Was it before or around the
because
same,
we
same
shipped
year?
two versions of this game. We shipped a floppy version and a CD-ROM.
Followed up with our first talkie.
Right?
Our first talk.
The floppy version only had voice in the intro, and then it was all text.
And that was not the original plan to do voice at all.
No.
We were not going to do it, and while we were making the game...
Human voice was invented.
Human voice was invented, and more and more people started to have CD-ROM drives in their home computer to the point where Kelly Flock just came in one day and said, what do you say we delay the game a little bit and we make a full voice talkie?
Yeah, let's all thank you to Myst.
Although, was this pre-Myst?
No, I think, Myst was what sold all those CD-ROMs and Rebel Assault.
What am I supposed to do with...
Hey.
What is it?
I think I'll be moseying along now.
Well, don't mosey over anything breakable on your way out. Super battery, eh? Brilliant design. Sometimes I amaze myself. Now all I need is oil, vinegar, and some gold. Ah, excellent. I need that for my super battery.
Here I am, don't get your curls in an uproar. Excuse me, Mr. Washington. Boy, what a mess.
Ahem. The LALR compiler is constructed by the following method. First, develop a rigorous elective grammar. If the elements have...
Well, I remember we would deliver a piece of music, and of course it's comprised mostly of MIDI note events, which is just a tiny little piece of data within the MIDI stream. Note on, and it happens at this velocity on this channel, to this instrument and whatever. And I would deliver a piece of music, and the programmer would turn to me and say, "Clint, this is over 32K.
Yeah, it's huge.
32 kilobytes. 32 kilobytes. You got to cut this thing down."
Who do you think you are, Mozart?
Yeah. He said, we can't take anything bigger for this scene than 24 kilobytes. So I'd go back and thin the percussion. I'd sometimes have to cut a whole section of the music out to get it down to 20.
Sometimes there was pushback, though, too, because we'd say, all right, look, 10%, we get 10%. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember the pushback.
Yeah.
I don't remember these technical discussions about the size of the music files.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, and I remember specifically 32K was often too big.
That's why the iMuse system got called the iMuse system, because it was originally called the sound drivers, and then everybody got all upset because drivers can't occupy a whole floppy disk or whatever it was that the system occupied.
Question is, which one's stuffed and which one's the real McCoy?
I assure you that we are both real, but we are neither one of us McCoys. We are Edisons, Ned and Jed.
Who's who?
Does it really matter? Even our dear father can't tell us apart. He only knows that one of us is left-handed while the other is right, but that neither of us are following in his tiny scientific footsteps. Hold still, Jed. So, I'm almost too frightened to ask, are you the marble delivery man? Or the model?
Sorry, hope I haven't jostled you.
Too late. Oh no! I've lost it! Oh, where hath gone the muse that once guided my hand with such care? Must inspiration be so transitory? Must art be so cruel? I'm a failure. Don't say that, Ned. Father was right. We Edisons are made to be scientists, not artists. Dear brother, we must be strong in these times of creative adversity. Why don't you let me take over for a while? I'll clean this rubble up and start over. You relax. Have a cappuccino. I'm glad we switched places. I think you're coming out quite well.
Those founding fathers are driving me nuts. Flag design changes every 5 minutes. Well, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm making them a flag, ready or not.
Well, I remember we would deliver a piece of music, and of course...
Where am I gonna put it? Where am I gonna put it? Where am I gonna put it?
Sounds like the cat's caught a moose up there.
Okay, who was the idiot who started the fire? It looks pretty clear in here now. Say, did you get the pen on our way out?
No,
I found a blanket blocking the chimney.
Son, do you know anything about a blanket? Didn't the dude next to you have one earlier? Hey, catch you later.
Ding, ding, ding.
Thank you. This is exactly the sort of thing I need for the time capsule. I'll bury it tonight, and it won't be seen for hundreds of years. Future generations are in your debt.
Whoa. Excuse me. Yes? Whoa, you're like George Washington. Very much like him, according to my wife, Mrs. Washington. My name's Hoagie. Like the sandwich? How quaint. Is it true about you and the cherry tree? Oh, yes, it's quite true. Why, I've cut down acres of cherry trees in my day. I bet you've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother. Lost it, have I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby. But as you can see, well, what do you know? There is a cherry tree out there. Well, let's go chop the sucker down.
I said come down from there at once!
Try to understand. I'm stuck in this.
Voila! You're quite a man. Yes, I know. Dum-de-dum. Looks like a big storm. See, this is why I never wash my car. Hey, Ben.
What do you want?
Where are you going? What about your experiment?
Even science sometimes gets cold on account of rain, my boy.
But how are you ever going to get lightning if you're not going to stand out in a storm?
To be frank, which I am, I don't know. The science of electrodynamics, much like your mind apparently, is still in a state of relative infancy. Back to the drawing board, I say.
What a genius.
So, Dave, are you going to take credit for the wash your car to make it rain puzzle?
I always feel like I need to both apologize for and defend this puzzle in this game because, I mean, there is a lesson here about how to design puzzles because you always want to make sure that the audience has all of the information that they need in order to make the leap that's going to get them the puzzle solution. And in this case, like I grew up with a father who told me that it was just common knowledge that when you washed your car, it made it rain. So I just assumed that everybody around the globe would understand that, and that we didn't really have to say much
We all found that to be acceptable.
about it.
I think we are like, yep.
A lot of people
that'd be a good puzzle.
have had, a lot of people have come back and complained about that over the years. That was
But
problematic. But
when you do try to wash the Cadillac,
right, there's a great hint. There's an other car in there.
What does he say?
It says "wash me" right on there, and when you try to wash it, he says something like, "I don't want to do that because every time I wash my car, it makes it rain."
That I think my judgment is that is absolutely fair.
The hint is in there.
It's right there. It's a big old sign.
Get me!
I like how this family, through time, just replaces each member with the exact same member. There's one mad scientist, there's one freaky son, and there's one red-haired lady. They all just give birth to someone who looks just like them? Or are they clones?
Or do the Eds grow up into Freds?
And they switch?
And they shrink.
Okay.
They shrink as they get old.
Hey, she knows the Edison family motto.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Ooh, I don't feel so good. I think I'm going to throw up all over.
Uh-oh. Time to visit Dr. Tentacle.
Well, what have we here?
I feel pukey.
Indeed. All right, now hold still.
Are you gonna use your scalpel?
No, of course not.
Darn. Do you want to use mine?
No.
What? What?
Just as I suspected.
What?
There's nothing wrong with you, human.
What a letdown.
Well, I'm late for the show. I'll send your keeper back for you. Oh, sit. Stay. Good boy. Humans aren't allowed to roam free here. I'm taking you back to the kennel.
I wish I had some sort of tentacle disguise. Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Ha, that's a good one. Imagine a human using a bathroom. Come on, let's take a walk. Okay, human, do your business.
Well, you know what they say. If you want to save the world, you gotta push a few old ladies down the stairs.
And look at this amazing fisheye lens effect you guys did. How did you achieve? You must have used some sort of high-end warping software. And I remember that monitor used to say phony on it. I think when Peter drew it, it said F-O-N-Y. Yes. But we had to take that out, I guess.
That VHS too.
Legal reasons, which means you'll have to edit the comments out of this too?
We're not going to use any of this point.
We'd like to go over some of your records with you. Upstairs. Dr. Fred Edison, Internal Revenue. Come with us.
I'm sorry to do this to you, little fella, but it's for the future of the whole planet.
So, Peter, one of the characteristics of this art is the exaggeration and the curved lines, like the door is curved.
Totally.
And when things are really exaggerated and cartoony, and they're curved as opposed to normally you would see them straight lines and things. Where did you get that? Do you remember how you developed that? Because that's one of the signatures, I think, of...
Yeah, I mean, that's just part of the visual language that I was trying to use, you know, and you're right, that was the goal, was to balance the two. And also, you know, I was trying to simplify, and the inspiration came from Chuck Jones's layout artist, Maurice Noble. So Maurice Noble, you know, if you watched his classic cartoons, designs on, you know, Duck Dodgers and What's Opera Doc, you know, you can kind of see that he totally exaggerated and made those beautiful graphic shapes. So that's what I was trying to do, is incorporate some of that into this game.
It makes the environments seem bigger maybe than they would otherwise. They kind of stretch like
there's kind of a
it stretches up, a fisheye effect almost up towards the ceiling, and it just seems more expansive, draws you in.
Oh, good.
Whew. Ted is red. See Red Ted. Let's see, it's 101-999-57.
Thought I heard something. Everything okay in there? Well, try and keep it down, okay?
It's not exactly the Ritz.
I had worked on Monkey 2, and I had learned to animate on that project. It's like, you're an artist, we need an animator. I'd never animated.
You didn't know how to animate?
No, I just... They gave us the Muybridge frame-by-frame book. The first thing I worked on was the dog with the keys in his mouth.
That's crazy. I remember you coming on as an animator. We should have checked out references.
No, that was the deal. The awesome artists like Peter and Steve were the ones that got to paint the backgrounds. And you know, the second tier people like me, you're animators. Didn't matter if you'd ever animated. So they gave me the Muybridge book, and it had walking horses and dogs and whatever. I'm like, all right, I'll go figure it out. And then did a few of those things on Monkey. And then at that point, then I'm like, of course, I can do everything now. What am I, you know?
But see, that was the same with me. I mean, I didn't have proper training either when I came on. And then, because I was just, studied illustration, but I didn't come from a film or a game background, and so I didn't know anything about layout. But coming in, and then there's Steve Purcell in the room, right? And then I had no knowledge of comic book artists at the time either, And so having all, like Ken Macklin and having these guys around, Ian McKeag would just walk in and out of there, and I was like in awe of these people. And I thought, oh my God.
Yeah, I talked to people about, that felt like grad school for me.
Yeah.
Because I had been thinking of going to grad school. And then I get this job, and I get paid to do it, and I get to learn from these guys.
Exactly.
That's great.
Nah, I'm not going to make that mistake again. Oof! Dr. Fred, are you okay? Dr. Fred? I'd better get him to the lab. Well, I got him in here, but he's out cold. Never mix, never worry.
Just noticed there's a face on that machine back there.
Oh, that is a special Chan thing. Faces on everything.
Oh, with the teeth on the bottom.
Faces on and the big red clown nose.
It's like Laverne eyes, one bigger than the other.
Oh, is this the same audio cue as the Purple Tentacle?
Yes.
I remember working on that animation for like 2 weeks.
Damn good coffee. Is that a Twin Peaks reference? Was Twin Peaks? Did we cover this before?
Twin Peaks. Yep.
Were we actively thinking about Twin Peaks when we wrote that, I wonder?
Probably. I remember we would go to Ron Gilbert's apartment and watch Twin Peaks around this time.
That's true. The only thing that bothered me was when that whole sequence was over, when we went back to the in-game animation Dr. Fred moved up a pixel. Oh, that stuff drives me crazy. Oh, I'm going to think about that tonight.
Can you fix that in a special edition?
This is a very satisfying hand wringing for just a few pixels.
Well, good luck. Yes, what do you want?
Hi there. Is this Dr. Fred Edison?
Who did you think you called? Dr. Spock? Look, I don't have all day.
This is Farley Croc at LucasArts Games. I just discovered your contract among some very old files, and, well, our lawyers say that we have to pay you $2 million in back royalties. For the use of your family in the Maniac Mansion video game.
What?
This is Farley Croc.
No, I heard that, you moron. When do I get my money?
Oh, right now. It's been credited to your Swiss bank account.
Operator, get me a travel agent. This is an emergency.
So, Dave, are you going to take credit for the wash your car to make it rain puzzle?
How about an amendment that the president has to be a human being?
Please, this is serious business.
You're right.
I told you guys.
Hey, so when you guys write those multi-branching scripts, I guess you call them.
Dialogue trees?
Is that what you call them? Dialogue trees?
Yeah.
Was it? Did you have to think in a certain mode, or how would you do it? And how would you notate it in Excel or something? Like, how would you map out the branches?
No, it was you would write it in code. We were programming the game at the same time.
You scum program the dialogue as you wrote.
Oh my God!
You would literally say, here are the choices. If you pick this one, jump down there. If you pick this one, jump down there.
I don't know how Dave wrote it, but I just kind of improv it. Like, you'd write, I wouldn't think or plan too much about it, but you just talk to him, and then what would be 4 funny lines on the screen, and then kind of explore one, explore the other, and maybe have other nodes that you can go to, and then I would start planning. Okay, now I've got myself into a mess. How do I get out of here?
Yeah, it's kind of all about sets of lines. It was great because one of the things that you run up against as a writer usually in other media is I get to this point and I have to make a decision about how things go. But here we can just leave that up to the player, and all you have to do is get to a point and go, well, what are all the interesting things I might want to do here? Or
Hey, so when you guys write those multi-branching scripts, I guess you call
dialogue
them.
trees?
Is that what you call them? Dialogue trees?
Yeah.
Was it? Did you have to think in a certain mode, or how would you do it? And how would you notate it in Excel or something? Like, how would you map out the branches?
No, it was you would write it in code. We were programming the game at the same time.
You scum program the dialogue as you wrote.
Oh my God!
You would literally say, here are the choices. If you pick this one, jump down there. If you pick this one, jump down there.
I don't know how Dave wrote it, but I just kind of improv it. Like, you'd write, I wouldn't think or plan too much about it, but you just talk to him, and then what would be 4 funny lines on the screen, and then kind of explore one, explore the other, and maybe have other nodes that you can go to, and then I would start planning. Okay, now I've got myself into a mess. How do I get out of here?
Yeah, it's kind of all about sets of lines. And it was great because one of the things that you run up against as a writer usually in other media is I get to this point and I have to make a decision about how things go. But here we can just leave that up to the player, and all you have to do is get to a point and go, well, what are all the interesting things I might want to do here or say here? And then you just put them all in.
So it's
Easy as
pre-editing.
And I remember you would always design a dead end, like where the train comes to the end of the line. Basically, it's like you say something and then he just keeps giving you the same answer, like, I wouldn't know about that. And then you try something else, I wouldn't know about that. It's like, okay, I guess I've exhausted this. It's sort of like almost like a stopgap or a safety net in a way, maybe.
They always try to let the player know when they've exhausted the character. They're like, look, okay, you found it. You found all of the entertainment we put in this character. It's done.
Because people will explore as deep as you give them. It becomes a responsibility. Oh, I've got to see if there's something down there that I'm missing. So I have to. So you don't want to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to attention you have to wrestle with is like. You want to put a lot of, well, the player might go here, they might go here, they might choose this, let's put interesting stuff in all those places. But then if you approach it in the wrong way, sometimes the player gets there and they're like, oh God, I've got to go through all of this stuff. And they feel like they need to find every nook and cranny of the dialogue. And you just put it in there so they'd have a variety of things to choose from, but they feel like it's taskless and they have to like find it all. Mm-hmm. And so you...
or something's buried there that they missed.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
It's about time.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
I like how this fan...
What?
Ooh, I don't feel so good.
Again?
Ooh, blue tentacle. I forgot there's different colors.
Blue tentacle.
Which raises the question, purple tentacle went off and like, who did he mate with to create
Obviously. Wait a second.
No, that would be blue and...
Yeah, blue and red. His parents must have been... But his brother is green.
It's like a dominant recessive gene kind of thing. You know, like it's if you have the blue eyes, but you could still have brown eyes. You could still have the blue-eyed gene. You could have the blue if you're purple. You know.
I waited, but she never picked it up. Hope she's okay.
Humans aren't allowed to roam free here. I'm taking you back to the kennel.
I wish I had some sort of tentacle disguise. Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, all right. Come on, let's take a walk. Okay, human, do your business.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
It's about time.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Ooh, I don't feel so good.
Again?
Hello, I'm a tentacle. I'd like to enter my insignificant human in the show.
Oh my, yes, of course. Take these tags and put them on your human and have them wait on the bench in the lobby. Entrance will be judged in 3 categories: best smile, best hair, and best laugh.
Thank you, fellow tentacle. Unlike humans, you have been very useful.
Oh, thank you. Believe me, it was my pleasure.
Now all I need is a human.
Yowza! That was one good-looking tentacle.
This ought to be good. Well, what do we have here? Looks like a prosthetic rodent. Another specimen. Stupid tentacle. Looks like there's some kind of rodent down there.
Did you do all the backgrounds yourself? Did you have any secondary help?
No secondary help on this one. It was challenging because it was. I remember to accomplish the assignments on time. I remember I had to do the roughs in a day, and then walk it across the parking lot. Have you guys check in, and then I did the next day I did a marker illustration of it, and then the following day was to scan it and then fix the illustration after it was scanned. So I try to get a room done like every 4 days just to stay on schedule.
Pizza Orgies, they predated me and you being in the company. They used to invite all their friends and family over and play the game all night long and get a whole bunch of pizza. And an orgy was involved. The orgy part stopped before we came.
I think they stopped doing that, because...
Those were fun, the pizza orgies, because we were there anyway. We weren't going anywhere.
Who would see it?
We weren't big on the whole work-life balance thing back then.
Yeah, and boy, the variety. I remember it was like 10 or 12 different types of pizzas, and each was stacked 4 high, and there's so much pizza and beer as well. We used to have beer and walk around from system to system and watch people playing the game and get into it, and it was a fun thing.
I just remember it probably would have been better to be behind that one-way glass, because I just would hover and want to...
Give hints.
No, go. Oh,
it's hard not to give hints.
I love being able to ask people questions, though. That was always like the best part of the experience. Is like,
what are you trying to do?
Yeah, what are you trying to do right now? And they would explain it. I go,
that's not in our game.
That's a good idea. We should put that in.
Everyone's raring to go. Let's get this show on the road.
Ah, here it comes, my finest hour.
Great Scott!
Now, if you notice the tentacle chairs in the foreground there.
What is that?
Is that what those are?
Mm-hmm.
But what's the thing that looks like a plug going into the desk?
Yeah.
Is that like a power thing or is that a
a
chair?
mouse.
Those like toilets, tentacle chairs.
That's right.
I think I'd better be going now.
Yes, leave me to my ingenious plans.
Did you do all the...
Oh, Harold, that's gross.
What are you babbling about?
You really should have told the judges if you weren't feeling well.
Oh, ick! Now, how did that mess get in there? I think I'm going to be sick.
Someone in here not feeling well?
I was feeling fine until I saw that.
Is that your regurgitation?
No, I'm an healthy human.
Didn't you just say you thought you were going to be sick?
That's just a figure of speech.
Do you realize you could have infected the whole show with human influenza?
But I just got all my shots.
You're a good-looking human, Harold, but you know the rules. You're out of the show. What a mess. I hate cleaning up after humans.
And so what?
Oh, here's how the guys walk. Hey, do you guys all want to walk over together? Everybody turn to face the back, and we'll sidestep.
Yeah, that must have been. There's no way in hell we're gonna animate each guy stuck
Well, I
to
mean,
the
we
floor.
had a walk cycle, so we could, but we couldn't have that many actors in one room, probably.
So it's one actor?
It's got to be, yeah. That's just one entity.
One clump.
I would have just cut. Nowadays, I think I would have just cut and had them be over there. Although it is kind of funny when they do that. But it's weird that they all turn to face the side and then sidestep.
There's no suction-y noise.
Yeah,
Should be like-
everyone else walks with a big jump.
These guys have greased up the floor.
Hey, when are you guys going to judge best hair?
Oh, all right.
Wow, that's the best hair I've ever seen on a mummy.
Thick and full.
And juicy.
The mummy wins.
Agreed.
Hey, when are you guys going to judge best laugh?
Oh, all right.
Okay, who's got a joke?
Hey, I just flew in from Baltimore, and boy, are my suction cups tired.
A classic.
Ha. Ha. Ha.
It's amazing how the mummy can do that without moving his lips.
I say we give him first place.
Agreed.
Hey, when are you guys going to judge best smile?
Oh, all right.
I like the quiet one with the big teeth.
There's nothing in the rules about them being white.
First place goes to the mummy.
Agreed.
Well, that makes him best of show.
Let's go congratulate him.
He is very well preserved.
I'll miss his laugh.
It's time to give him his winnings and start packing up. We gotta get this whole show to Baltimore by Thursday.
Yes, our work here is done.
I love the look of that crazy. He's a mummy in a disco suit with gigantic horse teeth.
That was just the weirdest character to have to design.
What are you talking about? There's so many ideas to work with. Spaghetti.
All the other characters made sense. That one.
It's funny how the tentacles prefer beehive hairdos because they're pointy on top, like tentacles are.
Was there a logic to that?
I never thought about that until this moment. But obviously, you artists had that all planned. You're like, who would the tentacles admire most? They'd someone with a pointy head.
Tell me, Lieutenant, how do you really feel about humans?
Honestly, sir, I think they're filthy, obscene, foul, sickening, like the stuff in your eyes when you wake up, like the wax that builds up behind your suction cups after a few days, like...
That's enough, son. I just wanted to be sure you weren't one of those humanist sympathizers. What with this ridiculous human show going on here, there's humophiles everywhere.
I'm no humophile, sir.
That's good. Now, let me tell you about a little plan I have.
Gosh, I hope this isn't like the primitive, dangerous microwave ovens of my century. Those things could really pop a hamster good. Uh-oh. That was fun, but only because this is the 22nd century. You see, kids who put hamsters in microwaves back where I'm from get taken away from their parents and put up for adoption. So don't do it. Ooh, cute!
Ooh, blue tentacle.
This ought to warm him up.
Say, cutie, what brings a hot tentacle babe like you to a dump like this?
I'm here by accident. Bye.
Hey, I don't want to be here either. Whoa! Dinner for two at Club Tentacle? I can't wait to tell my wife.
Hey, look, a skunk.
That is a beautiful shot.
Nice. Full screen
that
animation.
Color back there.
Wow. 3 frames.
Pew, pew, pew.
That was state of the art. Right? Nobody had full screen animation in those days. And I think, what was the deal? It was like 30%, 20% of the screen, of the pixels on the screen could move at once, no more than that. Yeah. So I took that whole shot and had to draw the characters and figure out what was the extreme.
I like how this family... There's a Chan joke there. You suck. The vacuum cleaner is called You Suck. Peter.
I recall this was my least favorite.
This is your least favorite room?
Yeah, I remember I started to burn out, and I just remember I struggled with just the background with that one.
Was that one of the last ones you did, you mean?
Probably.
And was that directed at one of us? You
No,
Suck? Was that for me?
No,
or Dave?
I just remembered it's not very interesting, that's all.
I wonder if that was late in production, because
Yeah.
I was just watching the whole vacuum cleaner thing, and I remember I had this totally elaborate thing that she was going to do some weird sword fight thing, and then something much bigger with this sucking the hamster in the vacuum cleaner, and then it ended up being like a 2-frame and go, because it was like, I don't have time for this anymore.
Pete, the thing that I remember with you was always you would do the sketch for the room and you would bring it to us, and you would have put in all these amazing details of all this cool stuff, and we would always look and we would go, okay, this is great, but you have to take out the ladder and the shovel and all the things that an adventure game player will want to pick up and take. And
nice.
Probably by the end of the game, you're just, all right, I'm going to put nothing in here.
But
that'll show them.
Yeah, I mean, all the interesting stuff turned into the silhouettes in the foreground where you can't touch it. Eventually, I just
a little frustrating too.
Yeah.
And, I know. Those are still interesting that you want.
Well? Look at that sucker go. He just keeps running and running and running.
The reason for the way Day of the Tentacle looks is because of Monkey Island 2 and how it translated, and how technology back then just mutilated my illustrations. And so for the next round, I knew to overcome that challenge was to simplify the backgrounds, so then I could eliminate most of those floating pixels.
All the noise.
Right? All the noise. So it was a lot of work, because once I scanned it in, I had to clean it all up. So I chose this very like paper cutout kind of simple backgrounds, just to make it look like it was supposed to be this way, that it was supposed to be clean.
And didn't you also scan them in black and white and paint them in deep paint? Like, I don't think you colorized them before you
No,
scanned them.
I did. These are all markers.
Right?
These are all markers.
But didn't you pump the
I pumped up the palettes. Yeah, so out of
the wall is completely like it's one color of gray right back.
It was
there.
all like 100 colors of gray, and I would just pick one of them to represent that wall.
See, I always tell
I
people you
cleaned it
scanned
all
them
up.
in black and white.
Nope.
That's a big lie.
It was all,
that's a big lie. Everybody, that's a big lie.
So this is all markers, yeah.
And I don't want to be
And I
critical,
cleaned it
Peter,
up.
but I have a feeling some of your vanishing points don't line up.
Yeah, and that, again, thank you. Again, that was a challenge for me because I love perspective and proper perspective. And so for this game, definitely learning how to let go and go outside my comfort zone. Right, how to be wrong on purpose.
It's like you love
was a challenge
perspective so much, there's 5 different
Oh,
perspectives.
I was fighting myself every day just doing this. But, I knew, in the end it was going to be okay because that was what we chose to do together.
So now,
excellent. I need that for my super battery. The final element for my ingenious battery. Stand back, boy. Give me room to work. A miracle of modern science. It will look lovely here on the shelf until I take it with me to Baltimore.
Don't look now, but the British are coming, dude.
Eh? Where? Is that supposed to be funny? I'm very busy.
Who's that? This is Ben's room, huh? He's into...
He's big into penguins. What is that date that's circled?
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
Is that your birthday? Your son's birthday?
It says January, right?
Probably says Zach really small.
That's my wife's birthday.
Ah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sneaky.
First or second? Because the car says Zach on the license plate.
Yeah, because Zach was born that year. So I snuck his name in and turned into a ritual. I now try to hide my kids' names in every project I work on.
They're in the bone pile in Grim Fandango, but I never could find it.
Yeah.
I just knew you told me they're in there.
And it's also in Full Throttle, too.
Interesting.
But you can't see it. So it's for me, basically.
I got something good for you, mister. Mister.
Mr. Brainstorm? Yes, hand it over. Doesn't this belong to somebody?
Yeah, Red Edison.
Ah. I'm sorry, but the man has no vision. A lightweight, durable fabric like this going to waste down in his basement. When I'm done with it, it will fly. Eureka! The all-season Francocopter, ready to make history.
How did we...
I'm trying to remember how we did...
How we referred to it to score it, because we would have had to play the game.
I think what we did, I'm trying to remember too.
Hold
I think
up a
what we
video
actually,
camera.
You just push it.
The whole time? How am I going to get up that high?
Listen, just wait for me to say the word now. Then push the kite into the air, all right?
I'm on you, lasagna.
Let's hope so. Now!
Whee!
She's handling kind of funny.
You got it. Just hang on there.
She's too heavy. I can't control her.
Hang on, Ben. Hang on.
She's breaking up. She's breaking up. Run for your life. Now that was interesting.
Yeah. Say, can I see that kite for a second?
No, I'm taking it back to my lab in Philly right now so I can study the results. Wish me luck. I never got your name.
It's Hoagie, sir.
Nice working with you, Hoagie. I promise to name an invention after you someday.
Gosh, thanks. Whoa.
I don't have anyone to call.
This beautiful 4,000-carat diamond can be yours today for the special rock-bottom introductory price of $2 million. The number to call is 1-800-STAR-WARS. Don't miss this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Couch Potato Shopping Channel, Wanda speaking.
I want to buy a diamond.
That will be $2 million. Do you have a major credit card?
I have a numbered Swiss bank account.
What's the number, sir?
It's 846-427-35327.
Very good, sir. We'll send the diamond by pronto post lightspeed delivery immediately. Thank you for calling.
Now that's service. I better get this to Dr. Fred right away.
That should do it. Where did you get this diamond anyway?
It was donated by a group of Girl Scouts who were in the neighborhood.
How heartwarming. According to my instruments, everything is in readiness. Your friends have activated their units, so it's time to throw the switch.
Great! Hoagie! I'm so happy to...
Hi!
Laverne! Wow! I'm so glad you two made it back okay.
I hate to interrupt, but there's no time to lose. Now that you're back, we've got to proceed with the original plan and send you back to yesterday to turn off the Sludge-O-Matic.
Huh?
Say what?
Now hold on a minute, Dr. Fred. They just barely made it back to our time alive, and I think...
Ha ha! You can't turn off the machine if I get there first.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, guys. This time I know I can stop him.
Uh-oh. I guess we better do something.
Let's go.
No, wait! You can't all go in the same stall. Didn't you see the fly?
We're
some kind of monster, dudes.
Great. Stuck here the rest of my life, listening to Bernard talking and watching Hoagie eat. Mom warned me there'd be days like this.
Now, wait just a minute.
It's Perfect Tentacle!
It's Green Tentacle. What was that, Green?
Perfect Tentacle behind you!
What?
I believe he's trying to warn you about me.
Oh.
We're going to turn off the Sludge-O-Matic and defeat your evil plan, overgrown worm.
You sorry lot are no match for me.
But there's 3 of us. Well, sort of.
Nevertheless, I mean to crush you.
Yeah?
You and what army?
Why, this army, of course.
Yikes.
You see, I've been busy. These are all versions of myself from the future. I've been bringing them back here using the Chronojog. Together, we will conquer the world. You 10 there. Go to the basement and guard the Sludge-O-Matic. To touch the Sludge-O-Matic. Now, creature, I must decide what excruciating tortures to leave them to me. I've been itching for a chance to test out my newly completed diminuator.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me. Us.
All right, the rest of you come with me. Next stop, the world.
What do we do now?
Whoa.
It wears off.
Aha!
Run for it!
Damn. The battery must not have had time to recharge, but it will.
Shh! Maybe he won't find us.
Yoo-hoo! Where are you, human? If only the hardware... Aha!
Uh-oh.
Take that. And This. Drat. Perhaps if I readjust the static phrase dynamo again.
That was really disturbing when he shot himself. And Metal Mel. Who is Metal Mel, Peter? Metal Mel. I don't know. Metal Mel. You predicted all the heavy metal stuff we do in games later.
Hey! Where'd he go?
You guys notice there's a
Great! Now we can turn off the machine and prevent all
guys notice the
mayhem from ever happening.
Well, I'm certainly glad that's over with.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Leaving so soon? We haven't had the chance to get to know one another. You humans are so small-minded. Ha 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 ha!
Eek!
Run all you like, you insignificant insect. The human race is doomed.
Just what is it you have against humans anyway?
Humans are our oppressors. They made us live in this horrible motel. They created us in ungainly forms so we could not rise against them. Try walking around with your legs tied together and glue on your shoes. You'll see what I mean.
Sounds like that's all Dr. Fred's fault, really.
I suppose you're right about that. I didn't start out hating all humans, just Dr. Fred.
You're pretty handy with that ray gun.
Center of the forehead every time. Would you like a demonstration?
Why don't you zap Dr. Fred if you hate him so much?
Perhaps that would be entertaining. Oh, drat.
Surely we can talk this out.
Talk?
Surely.
Wait! You haven't heard the last of me. I'll be back, and the next time, the world and all its piffling inhabitants shall be mine. All mine. All mine.
Okay, little fella. Mail this to Siberia. Our work here is done. Now we can go home.
Well, kiddies, it's been more fun than a jumpsuit full of weasels. Now, kindly get your freakish hide out of my home.
Please, Dr. Fred, you've got to get us out of this mess. We look terrible, and we can't buy clothes off the rack.
I'm getting sort of used to it. Maybe we could go on the talk show circuit.
Help us, Dr. Edison. You're our only hope.
Oh, all right.
So I didn't have enough pixels to actually show, like, there's way too much
of the screen.
There's way too much hoagie. Like, if you look at that X-ray, basically Bernard is piggybacking on Laverne. You can see Bernard's feet.
Oh, those are Laverne's feet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
But Hoagie is just like ribcage and nothing else. There's no room for it.
Look how involved this scene is. Like, there's all these different gags for how they all get. Like, it takes. It's all.
It's your reward for
how many
finishing
days
this
did it
entire
take
game.
to do that animation?
That was a long one. That was the funnest one.
Look how evil Laverne is.
I think because that had a lot of visual gags that were easy to do. Like the X-ray thing is a drawing, and then the stretching the shirt and snapping it. The action's quick. Like the drawings that it took to do the stretch was nothing. And I think it's her regular walk cycle, maybe just tweaked. And then you let it go and shoots off screen in like 1 or 2 frames.
But that was fun. I often refer to it as the last fun time I had making a game, just because we didn't have 3D and we didn't have to worry about voice during. We didn't have to lock our scripts early, so we could do localization and translation. So it felt easier. Even though we had a brief crunch mode because we'd be like, oh, the dialogue has to be done in a month, and you and I stayed there to do that. I don't remember the team really having a crunch mode like we did on Monkey 2 or anything. Like Monkey 2 was like a really
and you look at like Throttle, we thought we're going to make this crazy huge animated thing, and we had like one more animator than we had on this, and that got really bad at the end.
Games were
Whereas
simpler.
there was no way to
back then.
Didn't have enough rope to hang
I
ourselves.
did love that ability to write all the way up to the very because
we changed Monkey Island dialogue like the day before we shipped. I feel like, which is crazy. Of course, everyone's happier now that we're locking that earlier.
And the scum system, like I feel like we touched on that briefly earlier. We didn't really say much about it. Was like great to work in because it was like you just had a little puppet theater, and all the things that you wanted to do to make drama were really easy. Like, oh, have the characters walk around and play animations and say lines, and you didn't have to do any programming really behind any of that. It was all just one line to make any of those things happen. So you could just focus on, let's make a cool thing with all these little assets that we've got.
Star Wars. Don't miss this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's right, an incredible 4,000-carat diamond for the piddling sum of $2 million. For the special rock-bottom introductory price of $2 million. The number to call is 1-800-STAR-WARS. Don't miss this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Beautiful 4,000-carat diamond can be yours today for the special rock-bottom introductory price of $2 million. The number to call is 1-800-STAR-WARS. Call now. Tell them Yoda sent you. This beautiful 4,000 carat diamond can be yours today for the special rock. For the piddling sum of $2 million. That number again, 1-800-STAR-WARS. Call now. Tell them Yoda sent you. This beautiful 4,000 carat diamond. Once in a lifetime opportunity. That's right, an incredible 4,000 carat diamond for the piddling sum of $2 million. That number again, 1-800. $2 million. The number to call is 1-800-STAR-WARS. Don't miss this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. That's right, an incredible